Animations, creators of Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep, one of my favorite short movies and shows of all time. Aardman is one of my favorite studios, full stop. I have so many fond memories of seeing the Shaun the Sheep movie, Armageddon, and Curse the Were-Rabbit in cinemas, and absolutely loving them. Also, even though I wasn't born when Curse the Were-Rabbit came out, I saw it later because it came to like some small sketchy cinema. Yeah, so but anyway, none of them are bad. There are no bad Aardman movies. This is how amazing this studio is. Now, it's time to get to the ranking.
Alright!
Lost Away, it's a lot of fun. I really like a lot of the jokes, like the James Bond reference. I really like the villain, and his plan is really creative and fun. And also his henchman minion things a lot. I like the action, I like the way the rat world looks, now it's built from random human stuff. The things I don't like are the minion-esque slugs in this movie, which came out like 4 or 5 years before the minions existed. Also, I don't like how the whole main characters don't like each other thing. It doesn't do that particularly well. Also, I don't care for the main character being sad he's alone either. So also, this is probably the most British Aardman movie out of all of them. The entire movie is just being dumped in a carry pigs bucket of with a carry pigs bucket with a carry pig's blood bucket of Britishness. So, but other than that, the two main characters are likable most of the time. It's funny, I really like it, just less than the other Aardman movies. Good movie with the most alarmingly terrible human animation in the history of animation. Like, what happened here?
Wait a minute, accidents can happen.
Dad, we're not going to kill this chicken.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, CapCut won't let me say the word chicken on recording. So, sorry if you can't hear me say chicken because of CapCut. Again, very fun. The animation looked phenomenal. This is one of the first stop motion movies I ever saw, and it's what really got me into the genre. The characters are great, and it's really funny. Well, so why is it this low? Not because of the story. Most of the movie is about them trying to learn how to fly by Rocky. When the climax is about the plane. So, ultimately, Act 2 feels very disconnected from Act 1. Also, lie reveal trope, but this one's the first one, so whatever. But this, have Rocky already be part of the farm at the beginning of the movie, then have the movie be about Tim and Ginger's romance while they try and build the plane. I think that would have been really good. Not that this one isn't great, because it is, but with this, I think it could have been even better. And yes, I prefer Chicken Run 2, Chicken Run 1, leave me alone.
Wait a minute, accidents can happen.
Dad, we're not going to kill this chicken.
Again? Freaking again?
I really enjoy Chicken Run 2. Yeah, it has its problems. How did Miss Tweedy survive getting crushed by a door and falling into whatever the hell the chicken nugget make at the end? Also, it's kinda generic for the sequel to have the two main characters' child. And it is basically a copy and paste of the first movie, but I don't care. Molly is an entertaining character. Miss Tweedy is honestly more entertaining than she is in the first movie. Her uncle is genuinely hilarious. I know it's in the first movie, but it's way funnier here.
Rocky's in there.
Oh, shame, I quite liked him.
And even though none of the characters have as good voice acting as they do in the first movie, they still have a lot of good chemistry. I don't know what else to say. This movie is massively overhated. Next place.
Let's play football.
Early Man. This is the most overhated Aardman film ever, and it's not even close. It has less than 3 stars on Letterboxd. Pick this, society. This movie is one of the most fun Aardman movies. And I know I've said this about all the other Aardman movies so far, but seriously, a caveman football movie. And I really don't like football, yet this movie is just too much fun. The villain is probably the best Aardman villain outside the frog in Flushed Away and the dude from Curse the Were-Rabbit. Also, speaking of rabbits, I love the rabbit in this so much. And I watched with my mum a few days ago as writing and recording this, and now my mum would want to be the rabbit, like represented by the rabbit, in my upcoming Frozen 2 is an underrated gem video in which she voices a character. This movie is great. I love that Nick Park voiced Hognob, who is probably one of the greatest Aardman characters ever. This might be the funniest Aardman movie, other than the number 1, number 2 spot. So, hear me, society. Everybody go give this movie a positive review on Letterboxd to get the score up. Go! Can't believe that Rotten Tomato critics got it right and Letterboxd got it wrong. What a world we live in. Also, when I say football, I mean football as in soccer, but I'm British, so I'm not going to call it soccer because I'm not cringe.
We are the pirates, so don't do anything.
We need to talk. How does nobody talk about pirates and adventurous scientists outside the meme line? Which, by the way, the image that goes with it isn't even what goes with it in the movie. Let me show you. Why are we like this? Anyway, this movie is an absolute banger. Who came up with a movie where a group of pirates, who we only know as Pirate Captain, they were up with a scarf? Surprisingly curvaceous pirate. That's real. Who pretend to be scientists because their power is actually a dodo bird.
She's called Polly. Pretty Polly.
Shut up. And they want money. They need to learn that from Charles Darwin, like the biggest creep I've ever seen in a movie, other than maybe Ralph breaks the internet. Also, Queen Victoria is a psychopath who really wants their bird for a reason I won't spoil. Dude, I think this is the real funniest Aardman movie. I didn't think of it while writing Early Man, and now I've recorded and edited that segment, so oops. Anyway, the gag where they don't have actual names, Pirate, who's very obviously a woman, but that just like never gets addressed in the plot, it's just kind of there. The monkey with his flip card, which he uses to talk. Go watch this movie right now. I guess the movie could have had another action scene of how amazing the two they had were. But oh well, this movie is amazing. Watch it the second the video is over with. On to the next place. Oh wait. Why does America call this movie Pirate Band of Misfits? That's like the most generic title for a movie that's about pirates. I swear every pirate movie is something like Send the Misfits or something. I don't know.
You tell Arthur Reed that he'll never eat lunch in this town again.
Sony Aardman is underrated as hell. Arthur Christmas is probably my favorite Christmas movie ever. Except for Gremlins. Yes, Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Cry about it. Anyway, Arthur Christmas is the only kids movie that I've ever seen that references the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that's how you know it's good. Dude, this movie is so creative. This is the only movie ever, I think, that's established how the name Santa is passed down from generation to generation. And I love that. I love that the old Santa and new Santa have conflicts over the sleigh and traditions versus modern technology and the ship. I love that the brother seems like going to be a twist villain who wants to take the role of Santa by force.
That was his mistake.
But then actually, I think just a real person with a real internal struggle realizing that he doesn't deserve the title of Santa, which he aspired to get for so many years as much as Arthur does. I really love how Santa in this movie isn't portrayed as being perfect. They show his character flaws, and it's great to see him overcome them. This is probably the most emotional Aardman film, and I love that. So, I don't particularly love the animation style. The same issue I have with Flushed Away. I think it's better than Flushed Away, and it still looks good, obviously, but I just don't think it looks as good as a normal stop motion. But despite that one little blemish, it's an amazing, touching, emotional holiday film. What are you gonna get out of a billionth rewatch of The Snowman when you have gems like this going completely and utterly untalked about?
Dogs are better than cats.
Yeah.
Like, stop. The recording thing's on. I'm gonna have to cut this all out now.
Shaun the Sheep. I don't care what anyone says. Shaun the Sheep is f***ing phenomenal. I cannot stress enough how goddamn funny this movie is. I cannot stress enough how goddamn funny this movie is. It's like a bit less funny than Early Man, Farmageddon, and Pirates, and I cannot stress that enough. Just a teeny tiny bit. This movie is still such a massive riot. Every single character in this movie cracks me up. The morbidly obese sheep, the nanny sheep, Timmy, Dawn. Want me to go on? I don't really have any logical reason why this is so high. I just really love it. I'm sorry. Next place.
No crack from it. We've forgotten the crack.
And making this video, I was just so excited to rewatch Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Not just because it had been a couple of years since I'd last seen it, but I mean, it's Wallace and Gromit. How could you not love it? The humor is top notch. The animation is phenomenal. Which I know you can say that about almost every Aardman film. Almost. But this really sticks out. This is probably Aardman's most charming movie to date.
Jeez.
I cannot stress enough how much of an insane statement that is. Most of the time, horror parodies, I take after Squidward and because I'd rather watch an actual horror movie. But this movie does it with just so much insanity and overwhelming goofiness that I adore it. Story is simple, which works perfectly, because a complicated Wallace and Gromit movie sounds like my idea of complete and utter total hell. And lets it focus on their work and the bottomless pit of charm it is. That line sucks and is only in the video for an obscure Gravity Falls reference. And I swear, when I was a kid, there were some days when I would sit and watch the ending dogfight for like a week, all day, every day. When I wasn't watching Inside Out all day, every day, the villain is the peakest of peak fiction. Thanos, Darth Vader. No. Get that malarkey out of my face. It definitely deserved its best animated feature win at the Oscars.
And the Oscar goes to Wallace and Gromit in The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
And definitely deserved Best Picture over The Departed. I know that for a fact because I've never seen it. But despite that, there's still one film that's even better. I may have gone too far in a few places, but Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon! Yep, Shaun the Sheep 2 is above The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. This is my opinion. So please don't send an assassin to try and murder me. Look, there's just nothing wrong with this movie. It's hilarious. It actually has emotional moments. It's like one of the best sequels of all freaking time, and no one is changing my freaking mind. This movie's pacing is picture perfect. I have no idea why I said it in that accent. Also, take note on Kung Fu Panda 4. Shaun the Sheep with aliens sounds like the stupidest concept ever, right? But
wake up to reality.
We were all so wrong. They blend together so well. The villain is shockingly somewhat three-dimensional, which I don't know why you bothered, but I'm happy it did. She is easily my second favorite Aardman villain. The villain is like a three-dimensional version of Miss Tweety, but even better.
Hello there.
Am I biased? Yes, because A, that's the only time I ever went to the cinema with my dad, and B, sheep are my absolute favorite animals. I love this movie. I will never stop loving it. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies ever. If you don't get it, that is completely fine. But I think it's insanely underrated. It's not just a kids film. Like, what kids film has your owner have memory issues? 10 out of 10. 10. I'm sorry. Except I am completely not. This movie is number 1. So, that was the ranking. What you guys think? This video had been in production for way too long. It's because I've been working on my Attack of the Clone video, which is set to be an hour long. Suddenly, I realized I need to post something else, because that video is gonna take a very long time, because it's gonna be roughly an hour long. Please help me. So this has been my main focus for like 2 weeks. If you can't tell, I love Aardman so much. And a new feature-length Wallace and Gromit movie is coming out this year. And I'm so freaking excited. And lucky for me and my family, it's coming out around my mom's birthday. And just so you guys know, I have a letterboxd. It'll be in the description, along with a list that'll have this ranking on it. That will be updated every time a new Aardman film comes out. That's all I got. We're all mad.